Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to present you yet another video on SharePoint list and CSV export and how to automate this. So I have just penned down a summary of what we will be doing in today's work. So what you need when you look at, we need a SharePoint site. I'm using SharePoint site with Office 365 Online and the make.powerups.com, right? Then the site address, the list name I'm using, then a cloud flow, scheduled cloud flow, and we'll be using filter query. And in our flow we will be using the components below. Flow type, that is going to be the scheduled cloud flow, and we will be getting items from I have a list called purchase order. Shortly I will show you. Then we are going to select fields to export. Then we are going to create a CSV table from the selected list. Then finally we'll be sending an email with attachment with in our case say orders.csv. This is what we are going to do today. So before jumping into the detail, so I have already created a SharePoint site, and in the site I have a purchase order list. I created this for some other purpose, but this is quite good for us. So these are the columns. We'll be exporting, say, order number, date, supplier, and ideally we will take order total and maybe status. Then you can play around, you can do whatever you want. So for demo purpose we will be just focusing on 4 or 5 fields. Then that is our scheduled flow. So let's get started. We got a lot to cover today. So then I got Outlook also set up, and I open in another tab so that we can jump from here and there easily. Then I'm going to start another tab. In that I'm going to use this make.powerups.com to create our flow. Okay. So this is the browser. I'm using the browser to create the flow. So on the left side you have flows. Click on that. So as I said, we will be before that we have seen that the flow is going to be our scheduled cloud flow. So I'm going to create new. Okay, then scheduled cloud flow, this option there with the clock. Scheduled means it is going to run at a specific intervals. So I'm picking that. Let us give some good name for it. So what we should call, export purchase order as CSV and email. So the start date, let that be there. So repeat every one is fine with me. Of course not every minute. I will go with the day. So that's it for in this screen. Build a scheduled cloud flow. So click on create. Okay, we are in the cloud building, so let us save this once. Okay, it is giving should at least contain one trigger. Okay, let us add a step. So if we look at our task, next is we need to get items from our purchase order list. So let me just type get items. So we get items SharePoint. Yes, that's what we want. So here it is asking for the site address. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy this. This is my site. Of course there are some things, but this builder will help us to filter that out. It will identify exact the address. So I'm going to enter custom value, then paste that in that field. So as I said, you see it has stripped the site address for us, so it's pretty useful. Then the list name, as I said, it is going to be our purchase order. I go with that. Then limit entries and all, I'm not bothered at this moment, so I have saved as well once. So let's go with the next task. What is our next task? So we created a flow, we got the items, we need to select the fields. So for that, in our next step, let us say select. What happens? That is the one, data operation. So from where? Select from where? So this is a list of items. This is the value one, get item step. That is our previous step. We got the value that it says it's a collection list of items. I am selecting that. Then I'm going to map. I was telling these are the fields we need to get, say order number, order date, supplier, and order total and status. Say these 5 columns we are going to map. So I'm coming here. So my first column is going to be order number, so I type that. Then in the value I need dynamic content, so I can just type order number. Yeah, cool, that's there already. That is our first field. Then I need order date. Cool, we got it already there. Then the next field we are supplier, going to get supplier. Let us type supplier. And what is a field name? It's not here, so I can type SUPP call supplier. So then the next 2 fields we are going to get. So well, we can take in the same order, status and order total. So let me call this as status. Remember, this can be anything. It need not exactly match with the field name. I'm just putting my list columns are already meaningful, so I'm not changing. So here I don't see the status, but by typing this I can pick that. So finally we have our 5th column, order total. So here again it is not there. I can type order total. Cool, that's there. So I'm just limiting to only these 5 fields. You are at your liberty, and with your actual work there will be more numerous fields to include in your day-to-day work. So let us save and finish this step. So this is done. So in the flow checker it is showing something red. I will come back to that before. I promise to address that before we conclude this video, so just bear with me. So in our next step is going to be our create CSV table. That is going to be straightforward. So let me type create CSV. Cool, we got a action already. So this is very straightforward. So from where we are going to create CSV table, that is from our select operation. You remember we were doing the mapping, so those 5 columns will appear here. So save. Before getting further down, let's test this up to this, how we have made progress, whether we are okay without any errors. So I'm doing manual, so it's going, of course it's going to be automated flow, but for testing I am doing it a manual test. So done. Yes, we got the green pass. So if you select this step, you will see we are getting the data. This is our output. So order 1, order 2, order 3, order 4, order 5, and those columns are there: order number, order date, supplier status, and order date. So this is the select operation, whereby we map the columns which we are in need. In the table, if you look at, this is the input, so that is from, then the output, you see it is cleverly created the table CSV file. It's a wonderful. See, the column names are in the top row is the column names, and subsequently the data we got. So far so good. We are pretty good to go to our next step. So here what I am doing is, we are going to send an email with v2 and orders.csv as attachment. That is our goal. Okay, don't worry, I will share these steps and the objectives in the details area. So I am going to add, click on this edit, I am going to add another step here. Let us say send email. Yeah, I am after this v2 email, Office 365 Outlook, and this one. So to 2. So I need to test the flow, so I will use my name. I have this email already. And subject what we should give, maybe today's purchase order, or just we will say purchase order list. And body, okay, hi, please find the purchase order details. Say thanks SharePoint team. So you do whatever you want. This is just. So the next is here we have created a table. So that table I'm going to send this as attachment. How do we do that? Straightforward. Click on this show advanced options, right? So attachment name. Attachment name, say, let us say purchase orders dot CSV. Attachment content. Where is the content? Output. In the create CSV step, we got a output. I shown you the CSV in the output area. So that is our attachment content. I think we are to it now. Let us. So I saved, I think. Let me save it once more. Let's test it now. Test manually, and the flow done. That is cool. You should see that already I got a notification that it is there. So this is the email purchase order list. Okay. So this is the body we type, so you can do anything, and this is the subject we put there. That can be anything. So you can add dynamically the purchase order list for, then you can put a date. We will do that now. So let's open and see. Cool. That is pretty good. We got what is our objective. That is cool. So I think we got up to the last step. So we have created a schedule workflow and we use these components. That is good. But the last step I was talking about a while ago, there is a flow error. It's not error actually. It is a warning. Updating action data filter queries can improve the performance. What it is, you can go and read this link. Blog, advanced flow, the weak filtering, blah blah. But for time's sake, we are not going there. I will simply show you how to get rid of that. So we got the get items. This is where we are going to fix. So let's go back to the email. In the email there was one more flaw. So the attachment, it is now pulling everything, right? But our objective, my objective is only to send only these new ones, because the older ones we don't care. Somehow say I need to notify to someone in the company, some purchase order manager or someone who does the approval of this thing. The idea is to send the newly created orders to them. So this is where we are going to apply the filter, and that will by doing that we are going to tackle this flow error as well. So get items. So click on show advanced. Here we have the filter query. So filter query, as I said, we are going to filter on this status column, and the value we want is only the new. We don't care others. So the field name is status, and you can look into the link for the documentation. So in this case I am looking for equals, then I am saying new. Remember that I am putting single quote. If you put double quote, it doesn't work. So that was my finding. So you do use the single quote. So save. Cool. You see the flow error that has disappeared. Sorry, the warning, right? So that is good thing. We fixed the error and we saved it again. Let's test again. Test manually. So the flow has run. I got the email notification. This was my last email at 22:38, and this is my new email. So wow, see, we got only the filtered list now, where the status is just new 1, 2. There are only 2 rows. So we got what we want. So as I said, you can refine this to your needs, I believe. Like, take for example, in the email composition, when we go to edit email, so you can put a purchase order list for, say I want to put a dynamic content here for, say I want to put a date. So I can go here, expression, it is in now. Let's see what it does. So probably you can format it. You can look into the, just I'm going to save and run this once more before we conclude this demo. Run the flow, done. So email is there. Okay, we got the date, that is fine. So you need to format it. Say, take for example, you want only up to this. You can do that. You can truncate this one. Anyway, that's how you can build dynamic content. You can do in the body also. So that's all to it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, though it is quite simple and straightforward, but we did in a most simplistic manner. Actually, these are the components, as we said. I will be uploading the video now with these contents. Thank you so much. Do subscribe to my channel so that you do get notification whenever I do something. Thank you. Bye.